Hey guys, MT here. This is my first review, and it is of Even Good Cats Have Claws, Episode 1, Part 1, by Foxy Roxy 1464. Now, this is the first and only currently existing episode of this series, so it may be too soon to pass judgment on some of the areas I'm going to address, as the issues I mentioned could easily be resolved later on. First of all, I'm going to point out one problem that I saw throughout the episode that I find a lot of new authors making, and that problem is the assumption that the audience knows as much about your story and characters as you do as the author. This is a pitfall that I myself used to fall into, but the first step to solving it, like most problems, is recognizing it. Fortunately, it is an easy problem to fix. You don't have to do much more than simply explain your story. The first episode, jumps straight into the story without setting anything up for the audience. As such, everything that happens is rather jarring. If the author decides in the next episode to take time to explain the world and characters though, a lot of the problems with the story can be resolved. Now, let's get on to the actual episode. The episode starts with an anime music intro. Okay, this is just a personal pet peeve with me, but I sort of have a dislike for using anime's intro themes as an intro to your own series. The song choice used in show's intro, in my opinion, should be purposeful and tell us more about the series itself. An intro where I, and I'm sure most of the audience, can't understand what's being said does nothing to set the tone or feel for what we're about to watch. Okay, that's just a personal thing for me. Moving on. The story begins with some nameless cats gossiping about who I assume is our main protagonist, Saya. The cats are talking about Saya's oddly colored fur, when Saya's sister...
You guys are just jealous. Leave my sister alone. Don't worry, sis. They're just some frisky felines looking for some gossip.
Oh my. Okay, I didn't realize, I don't really know the circumstances, but if your audio sounds like that, you'd need to do another take. The audio through the rest of the episode, while nothing notable, does not sound this grainy, so I don't know what the problem was here. Then we get a scene... I don't know what's happening here. Moving on. We see who I assume are Saya's parents talking about an exam, and then these two cats get into a fight or something and go somewhere, and then once they leave, I think, we get a cat we've never seen before, and then Saya gets knocked out. Okay, I'm very sorry about my confusion. I watched this part of the episode several times through to try and understand what exactly was happening, and what I'm saying is the best I could come up with. Again, some explanation of what exactly is going on, or even just showing what happens to bring us from point A to point B in the story, rather than just jumping from point to point, would have definitely helped with the pacing and helped the audience's understanding. So Saya wakes up in a checkered room, injured, and her siblings are dead around her. Now, here's the problem with character deaths this early on. We don't feel sorry for the characters who died, or the survivors who lost their loved ones, unless we're given a reason to. We don't know how these characters felt about each other, we don't know how they lived, we don't know their personalities, and since we knew nothing about them, in our minds, nothing is lost once they're cut from the story. You can have episode 1 deaths, but you need to make sure they've been set up properly. People don't feel sorry for characters they know nothing about, because to them, the characters aren't anything more than a plot device to set the story in motion. The last scene is... I have no idea. What you're seeing here is it. There's no audio I'm cutting out or anything. I assume it's foreshadowing for the next episode though, so I won't harp on it. Closing thoughts? This series needs some work, but it isn't beyond saving. As I mentioned at the start, you have to explain to your audience what is going on, because they don't know the story like you do. It's best to imagine your audience as tourists in a strange new world, and you as the author are the tour guide. We don't know anything about the people we're going to meet, the places we're going to go, or the experience we're going to encounter. But you do, and it's up to you to inform us. Our first impression of this strange new world is what's going to determine whether or not we want to come back. So don't get us lost.